Ideas of virtual reality stem from the thinkings of French theorist Jean Baudrillard. In Baudrillard's works in the mid-1970s, he discusses the differences between both modern and postmodern societies. The shift from modern to postmodern conditions broke with the reimagining of how we think of what constitutes the real. In a postmodern society, the real is based on the unreal, and Baudrillard believes we are living in what he terms the desert of the real. According to Baudrillard, we are building our reality off of a previously defined reality that is not authentic and is impossible to escape this condition. However, in an attempt to escape the desert of the real, that is the new postmodern reality, members of society will flee to hyperreality, which Baudrillard sees as an inauthenticity of postmodernism. Through this idea of the hyperreal, Baudrillard developed the orders of simulations that were discussed in his philosophical text, Simulacra and Simulation. As described in his book, the simulacra are copies that depict things that either had no original at the start or no longer have an original that can be located. The simulation is described as an imitation of real-world processes that occur over time. The first order of simulation is where we are aware something is a reproduction, and we still know the original as a referent. An example of this order of simulation is pre-production photographs or works of art. The second order of simulation is the distortion of reality, where we come to know signs and images as unoriginal copies. An example of a second-order simulation is historical photographs, such as post-war photographs where photographers would move and pose the bodies. The third order of simulation is where one enters the hyperreal. Here, all of our reality is based on a reality that is itself the product of reproduction. Signs and images claim to portray the real, however, the signs and images only represent arbitrary things and hold no relationships. An example of third-order simulations involve mass media and their portrayal of reality through simulation. The fourth order of simulation makes us feel as if the third simulation is real. The simulacra no longer have a relationship to the real world and everything becomes artificial. An example of a fourth order simulation is Disney World. Baudrillard's categories of simulation and hyperreality together produce a new postmodern condition that creates new theories and politics in order to provide for the new era. According to Kip Klein, there are many examples in contemporary media that suggest Baudrillard's descriptions of the media landscape have merit. Specifically, it is apparent that the relationship between signs and reference have undergone a transformation with the evolution of television and the film industry. We have now reached a point where signs in the media refer only to other signs, not to real-world reference. Examples of these signs in the orders of simulation can be found in the Netflix original show Black Mirror. Bernadette Salem, a graduate student from Lancaster University, analyzes the connection of Black Mirror to our current-day society. As our technology grows and we engage with different forms of media, technology becomes hardwired into us, functioning as a prosthetic by working in conjunction with our minds and bodies to reshape our perception of the world, allowing us to perceive more by extending our senses. These ideas come back to Baudrillard's thinking, involving that of the hyperreal becoming an escape from the desert of the real. Those in society attempt to escape the desert of the real and delve into technology that has essentially become so vital to our society that we cannot go anywhere without a technological device. San Junipero, Black Mirror's fourth episode in the third series, can be seen as an example of both the second and the third order of simulation. What are you doing?
I'm regarding you.
The episode focuses on the two main characters, Kelly and Yorkie, as they meet in a seaside town in 1987. Each time the two meet, they are found in a different place in a different time period. As the episode progresses, it is revealed that the seaside town that Kelly and Yorkie meet in, named San Junipero, is a simulated reality that provides a home for the deceased and allows the elderly to visit once a week for 5 hours at a time while the simulation is still running on a trial program. It is revealed to the audience that this is indeed a world of virtual reality once Kelly and Yorkie agree to meet in real life. This simulation exists within the already existing physical world. San Junipero is seen as an unfaithful copy to the physical world, a seaside town in California. The images and signs within San Junipero do not truthfully reveal reality to us. However, it does allude to the existence of another reality that cannot fully be enclosed. This reality is reserved for a specific grouping of people that are able to enter themselves into this second-order simulation. Along the second order, San Junipero demonstrates traits of a third-order simulation as well. In this third-order simulation, San Junipero attempts to be a faithful copy. However, there is no original and it is only a copy of reality. This can be seen with characters that have lived within San Junipero after their deaths. Their meaning in this afterlife has been created artificially through technology and the ideas of the hyperreal as an attempt to escape the desert of the real. Virtual reality afterlife for people living in San Junipero has become their entire life and is now seen as a form of truth. Both Kelly and Yorkie remain in the second-order simulation for a majority of the episode, as they temporarily stay within San Junipero for only 5 hours a week. They are still tied to the reality in which they reside in, and are aware that San Junipero is merely an illusion of a different reality that is simply an unfaithful copy. The simulation is maintained by a large server that is invisible to those residing within San Junipero, reflecting a deeper meaning how our own devices have become invisible to us. Black Mirror, throughout its 4 seasons, has commented on the increasing use of technology and social media within our society. As technology advances, Alex Boren states that despite widespread optimism among American users, some scholars raise concerns about the possible negative effects of these technologies. The show becomes closely linked with ideas relating to Baudrillard and his theories of virtual simulations and the orders of simulation. Black Mirror looks closely at Baudrillard's ideas that the real has disappeared, and we are left with only the hyperreal or the virtual. The world was accelerating toward the fourth order of simulacra, the fractal order, in which the virtual would completely colonize the real. If technology continues to advance and shape postmodern society, the virtual reality may overpower the real, just as Black Mirror has captured in its stories.